What's up, guys? It's your boy Aiden, back at it again with the archive channel, and today I'm going to be reacting to a WordPress article that my good friend Jay the Zoomster made, titled "Every Blue Couch Productions Album Ranked." I have not read this at all. I didn't think it was a real list at first. He just sort of sent it in the group chat that I'm in on Discord, and I'm like, "Hold up, is this a meme list or is this a real list?" He said it was a real list, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it. You're gonna take the time to make a WordPress article, I guess I'll react to it. So I know absolutely nothing. I have not looked at this at all. Apparently, my logo is in it, and it's massive. So we're already off to a good start. Go subscribe to my channel, Blue Couch. Okay, let's scroll down here. Every Blue Couch Productions album ranked. Popular and Grammy nominated comedy album artist Blue Couch Productions has 15 full projects, but not all are created equally. This is true. Both the Grammy nominated part and the not all albums are created equally part. These are factual. Let's break down my ranking of every BCP album slash EP. All right, so we already see the first one here, number 15, my first ever project, which, by the way, if you want to listen to these, I'll leave a link down below in the description as well as a link to the article. These are both publicly available as far as I know. So, all right, here we go. Number 15, Mexican Revolution in 1910. This was a cover Jay made, by the way. It looks pretty clean. I love the orange and red and shit. It's nice. This ranking is going to start off pretty standard. Most of the early albums are going to be at the bottom, but it'll get a lot more interesting once we move further into his discography. 1910 is an impressive feat for Aiden, a man with basically no knowledge of music making, jumps headfirst and crafts a complete 10-song album. It's impressive. It's just not good. True. While there are some definite highlights and bops here, like the hit Anal, and to a lesser extent, Beans on Toast, too much of the album is incoherent rambling and full of unfunny gags that hold it back from being anything more than a footnote in the history of blues comedy outings. Closer Still Here is worth a mention too, but the remake on a future release is far better, so I'll talk about it there. All I'll say now is that it was a cool idea to drop a serious song on his first album. So, oh, he even has recommendations? That's cool. Yeah, so he gives you highlights for each record as well as a rating. 4 out of 10 stars. You know, it could have been a lot lower. I was expecting like 2 or 3, so this is pretty good. It's pretty good. So listen to Anal, Beans on Toast, and Still Here and skip everything else. Why am I still awake though? Like, hold on. Like, why am I still awake? Kind of a banger though. Don't cap. But yeah, I tend to agree. These are the 3 best songs, and in terms of records that I have, this one is definitely the worst. So, all right, I'm gonna say the next one is Gulf War. Yep, album number 2. Another cover Jay made, a very clean one too. There's definitely some improvement here. A lot of the songs feel more realized, the jokes are funnier, and at the end of the day, it doesn't feature Gamer Girl Coochie or I Like Black Panther, so it's a wooden by book. Bound together by the glue that is the Pro Jared musical, Aiden is able to craft an album that struggles more than it succeeds, but also never feels like it's dragging itself down as much as 1910 did. That's interesting. All 4 Pro Jared songs are the highlights of the record, and part 4 might be one of my favorite Aiden closers, and I know he'll beat my ass for saying that. Also, part 2 features Mizuno in a terrific feature. Yeah, my good friend Mr. Carry Night Gaming on his very first feature on Gulf War. I always think of like Waves as our first song, but like technically, he showed up on the Pro Jared musical first. Also, part 4 kind of like mid, so you know, like if I'm ranking the parts, it's like 2, 1, 4, and 3. So, yeah, I don't agree with that. Now, if there was just a 4-song EP featuring only these songs, this would be a far higher. I can't read, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, the rest of the album exists. Apathy is just plain mean. A Special Date is heinous and disgusting. Tropical Snack isn't much better. Damn Daniel, back at it again. He forgot the parentheses. He forgot the Oh, get fucked. Damn. Invalidated the whole article right there. Bro forgot the damn parentheses. At least works enough, but Double Quarter Pounder and Real Breakup Hours are a snooze fest. To me personally, right? the Pro Jared stuff is obviously the most interesting part, so I agree with that. But like in terms of like standalone songs, Damn Daniel the best of the bunch. It's the only one that's got like backing and like a full featured idea and a good beat to it. Tropical Snack and Special Date are very much the same song. And Double Quarter Pounder is interesting. That's all I'll say. But look, we've bumped up to 5 stars out of 10. that's slightly better. But I agree. This is the second worst album. In fact, you know, if you weren't a fan of the Pro Jared focus on this album, it probably would be the least favorite album for you. But I think even if you discount the Pro Jared stuff, the songs on here are still better than the ones on Mexican Revolution. So, yeah. All right, cool. Listen to all 4 Pro Jared tracks. Damn Daniel back. Real. And then skip Apathy, Tropical Snack, and Special Date. Tropical Snack, you know, it's a little bit better than Special Date, but not by much. All right, 13, Vancouver Gang War. Wow, we're not going to Mataram? Mataram's probably 12. But Vancouver is my worst modern album for sure. But Over, yeah, I guess it would be. All right, 13. Another cover, J-Made. This one's really good, by the way. Like sort of neon shit. This weird like bar that's sort of I don't know. I've always viewed it as it like being the palette for the album. But then if you think about it, right, like you see the yellow in the sun and the orange as well as the red. But where's this pink coming from? Like there's no pink in this cover. So like my palette idea kind of gets fucked over by that. Okay. Gang War is the album I remember as the, quote, album with Rats Night Out, and for good reason. It's the only song worth a damn. Sheesh. But Rats Night Out is the best one on the record, so, you know, he correct. Okay, that's harsh, but when looking back at it, it's one of very few songs that warrant a re-listen. Just Jellyfishing scratches a special part of my brain, though, and Straight Ballin' is way funnier than it needs to be. Okay, we have a spreadsheet with, rankings for all of our different comedy songs, and I started learning a little bit of like Google Sheets formulas, so I didn't have to like manually type in all this data. But what that meant is I could organize all the rankings into a cool little list, and one of them was a top songs of a particular year. So in Jay's top 2020 songs is just Jellyfishing. So when he says it scratches a special part of my brain, what he means to say it's one of the top 10 tracks of the year. And that's not me bullshitting. That's just facts. Bro rated this song way too fucking high. And Straight Ballad's actually good, so I'm not going to give him flack for that. Unfortunately, the rest of the record is just a lot of hoopla with little substance. Damn door isn't... Put the whole title. Open the damn door for yourself. You can't be doing this. Bedroom Pasta's mid, Morning Time Exist, I guess, and the ill-fated collab with Zoomster Country Baird's Ballad should probably have never been re-released at all. This is the newest Aiden album you'll see this far down, and again, it has tracks that weren't a listen, but at the end of the day, I barely remember any of the tracks on here. That's fair, because most of Vancouver, as far as the track listing, was sort of unreleased songs from previous records. So, like, when I'm making an album, I just try to hit like 10 good songs and then I'm done. But, you know, inevitably you don't record 10 bangers back to back. You get some mid shit. And so sometimes those mid songs stick in my unreleased folder for a couple of years. And a lot of them were unreleased. Rats Night Out, Bedroom Pasta, I think Damn Door was. There was a lot of them on that one, which kind of meant the record didn't really have like a whole lot to stand out on its own. So... yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is my worst modern album. I agree with that. But I thought Mataram would have been a little lower. I'll be surprised if Mataram isn't next. So we'll see. We do, however, get another star. So 6 out of 10. That's a little high. I'd probably put this at 5. But then I guess you wouldn't put it at the same star rating as Gulf War. That feels wrong. Oh well. All right, listen to Rats Night Out. Just Jellyfishing is not a recommendation for me. Replace Just Jellyfishing with Morning Time. Morning Time, my personal favorite off of this. And Ballin' with Biden. Yeah. Yeah, that one's a good one. Skip Country Bears Ballad, Tales from the Playground, Mood, and Bedroom Pasta. Yeah. Yeah, you probably should skip those. Also, this song is called Straight Ballin', and it's not called Ballin' with Biden. It is literally less characters to type that out. I don't know why you went with a longer title. All right. Okay. Mataram is next. Good. Good. Album number 3, another J cover. I love this one too. He finds such great background images, you know? Like the colors on this nice blue at the top and the green, this mountain range in the middle, where the text just fits so perfectly in there. Ugh. All right. Why is this album above Gang War? Easy. It has Waves featuring Mizuno. That's it. It's the best song ever crafted. A genuine bop that I would listen to even in my free time. Now, aside from that, yeah, this album is missing a lot of what would generally make a quote good album. It even contains the very worst AIDS song ever, a very Loquisha Christmas. Back to back, by the way. So I think Waves and Loquisha Christmas are back to back, which is fascinating, right? Like kind of the dichotomy of man, you know? Sort of breaking down that even in the best of times, the worst of times are not too far behind. That was intentional on my part as the artist. I wish more people would give me credit for that, but you know, unfortunately, people don't think about it that deep, which is unfortunate for sure. It's not without other good tracks though. Aiden's third album features more serious tracks like Waves, but also Remember in September and Cabin in the Woods. It's a nice change of pace to hear more serious bangers, even if only Waves is the true standout. I agree with that. I don't like Cabin in the Woods as much. Remember in September is fun. The comedy is where this album falls flat. Jay's mom hours makes me uncomfortable. No Nut November isn't very funny, and again, a very Loquisha Christmas should be purged from the internet. Hit the Quan Part 2 is an enjoyable romp, though, as is, quote, the nude song. Yeah, I'd say those are the 3 best. Waves, Hit the Quan, and the nude song. Skip No Nut November and Gamers, and then Avoid. He added a new category here of avoiding songs. But he correct. He correct, for sure. Yeah, so obviously, like, Mataram, the album, isn't great, but it does have, up until that point, some of my best songs, right? Waves, I still look at very highly. Hit the Quan Part 2, I still look at very highly. And the nude song, kind of underrated. I think Remember in September is a little underrated, too. But, yeah, sort of the stinkers are very much still stinkers. No Nut November is like, what, 4 minutes long or something? And Gamers is a, you know, sort of a edgy Joker parody. So a lot of stuff that is a very topical and of the time, but a kind of pivotal point in sort of my trajectory as an artist and making albums and stuff. So, all right, what's next? Let's try to predict what's up next here. Because at this point, there aren't really any stinkers left. Because album 4 is good. Oh, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be World War One. Yeah. Yeah, my money is it's going to be World War One here. No way he puts Aiden Emergency next. Yep. Ooh, I read you like a book, baby. Read him like a goddamn book. This is the first cover I made, I think. Or did I make World War II? I made World War II. Yeah, I think Jay still made this one mostly. Ayo! World War One is a great listen for the most part and features a ton of songs that I adore. Quaker Oatman is a terrific opener. Joe's Ballad is hilarious, and Sad Homie Hours is an anthem. Not as big an anthem as the literal Tater Tot anthem, though. Real. Not every song here is a banger. Calling out Toyota Team? Man, this dude a fan of Ford out here, bro. You hate to see it. And The Love of Technology are both just fine. The Misadventures of Carl Weezer is just uncalled for. Real. We've reached the first album with absolutely no bad songs, though, so that's good. At the end of the day, World War One is a true good album featuring songs I love, but also a lot that are just decent. Yeah, this one's sort of just the most cohesive. There's not really like any standouts as far as like you gotta listen to this song off of World War One. It's great, but all the concepts are pretty solid. They're all made pretty well. There's no like real drastic low points unless you count the Carl Weezer Misadventures. But I think this one's just a solid record. I don't know what to tell you. Have we bumped up our star rating? Oh, we're up to 7. Lit. Were we at 7 on Mataram? No, we were still at 6. Okay. So we're up to there. Listen to Joe's Ballad, Sad Homie Hours, Tater Tot Anthem, Skip, Hat of Emerald Green, and Misadventures of Carl. Okay, you can't be putting Hat of Emerald Green in the same tier as Carl Weezer. You would have needed to have made a third one here. IMO. All right, I accidentally spoiled the next one because I scrolled down a centimeter too far down. But we're getting the first EP, which I think came directly after World War One. So we're still staying pretty chronological. The only thing we've gone out of order on is Vancouver swapping places with the Aid and Emergency, which is fascinating. All right, here we go. The EP. Let's All Go to Vietnam opens up the Great Molasses Flood of 1919 in the best way it can, with utter and total anarchy. It's also a complete banger. Followed up by Going Nuclear with You, and then the hilarious A Perfect Pair. The EP just doesn't let off the brakes. Into Butt featuring Zoomster is also an utter classic. So why is this so low? Because the second half blows, bruh. No, he did not say the second half. What he going with? Hard Boiled Eggs is a forgettable foray, and it was a minute long. Boys at Home is terrible. Terrible's a strong word. Where Are You Going Now is a bland, serious song. That's true. I don't think about Where Are You Going Now. He got a point on that one. And the only song worth the damn in the second half is Fuck You 2020, an anthem to that shit stain of the year. Probably my only like good topical song. You know? A song that is very much of the moment, that is still fun to listen to today. The first half is tremendous, but the second half is the worst since Gulf War. Done lost your damn mind. It equals out to being all right, I guess. And what are we at? 7.5 stars, so we're moving up. Listen to the first 4 tracks and Fuck You 2020. Skip the rest. But if you have like 5 good tracks out of an 8-track EP, and like really you only have one of them that you dislike, because Hard Boiled Eggs and Where Are You Going Now is just more bland and forgettable than bad. If Boys at Home is like your only real issue as far as bad songs, then yeah, you know, 7.5 makes sense. 7.5 makes sense. What's next though? What's next? I can only see like a little bit here. What does that say? I think it's Halifax. Interesting. Halifax this low? Aid and Emergency this high? Wow. Interesting. Okay. Halifax Explosion. I love this fucking cover art. So goddamn. It's so pretty. It's so pretty looking. This album is a lot better individually than together. A lot of the songs are terrific. There's a beautiful amount of serious songs, and the hilarious comedy bangers are in full force here. I just feel like that the merging of the two doesn't work as well as I'd like. Internal Revenue Service is a great opener. Heartbreak Sandwich slaps, and Mario Kart DS featuring Mizuno is terrific. Unfortunately, Watertune begins to transition to serious songs and hurts the flow. Everybody be shitting on Watertune, but what they don't understand is from a rapping and delivery perspective, Watertune the best song I've made up until this point. And that is very crucial to a lot of the more rap focused albums that come later. If Watertune does not exist, you don't get things like Complicated or a lot of the other bangers. So yeah, Watertune low-key underrated. All right, what else we got? A Fortnite song sandwiched between the two serious ones doesn't help things either. You know, fair. And Merry Fucking Christmas is alright. Also fair. Again, all the songs here are good. I just feel like as a cohesive whole, this album doesn't work for me the way I want it to. The Missing Zans goes incredibly hard though. Yeah, it seems like Mr. Zoomster be fucking with the goofy shit. You know, because he didn't list any of the serious songs other than Watertune and in a negative light. So bro is much more a fan of the goofy And in terms of goofy tracks, I like Heartbreak Sandwich. Missing Zans is pretty funny. Internal Revenue Service is good. It's solid. Ooh. All right, I'm back. I had to pause. Sorry. Had some spaghetti and that shit. hit exceptionally well. Is it Alfredo in there? Whew. All right. Anyway, back to the funny list. I looked up the albums I have left, and essentially it's these four, these three, and then Aiden Emergency down here. We've mostly been going in a chronological order, sort of oldest to newest. Again, except for Vancouver Gang War, we kind of skipped a little bit. And Aiden Emergency is still out there, so I'm kind of curious. I have to feel like Aiden Emergency is next, or it's Bros and Hoes Volume 1 or 2. That's my guess as to what's next. But again, have no idea. So let's keep scrolling down. Okay. Okay, still, we got a 7.5. All right, let's see it. Listen to Heartbreak Sandwich, Mario Kart DS, Missing Zans, Walk With Me. Bro didn't even mention Walk With Me in this little preamble. That's one of the best serious songs of the whole gosh darn thing. Avoid Merry fucking Christmas. And what? Not, can't be doing this shit. These are two very different tiers of songs. All right, here we go. Number 8, Battle of Naboo. Wow. That's fair. It's not in my top 3. I'll tell you that much. But number 8, I'd love to hear the reasoning behind this. Because I would have thought for sure Aiden Emergency was going next. I do love this cover a lot. Look at my man Jar Jar. I'm pretty sure this is the newest project to be this low on the list. He is correct. The Battle of Naboo is great, don't get me wrong, but it's not as great as the rest of this list. Yeah, really, like, the top 8 at this point are all pretty damn good. It's really going to come down to, like, personal preference at this point. It probably surprises people reading this, I know, but it's just how I've always felt. There's absolutely nothing bad on here, but also nothing that warrants unhinged praise for me. Blue is a great song, Waffle Establishment is hilarious, and Reclaiming Cinema is great too. It also features Return of the King, which the less said about, the better. Bro, the one little tiny dick song. He come back after how many years? And this is the slander he gets? Uncalled for. But it also has Inside, a song I just don't really care for. It sounds good and features a ton of great songs, but ultimately just can't hold a candle to things that come later down the list. Inside maybe is in my, like, I'd have to look at all my closers, obviously, and, like, rank them personally, but Inside I'm pretty sure is in my top 3 of closers. That one hit extremely personally. Blue does too, granted, and they kind of are companion songs a little bit. I think the end of Blue, like, mentions Inside as well, so it's kind of like a part 1 and part 2 thing. Shout out to Jay Like and Waffle Establishment too, another relatively underrated song. I don't be hearing enough talked about, considering vocally it's one of my best personally. But interesting. We've moved up to 8 though. 8 stars. Listen to Blue, Waffle Establishment, Singing in the Shower, another fucking banger. Skip, Start of Something New. Now what the hell? What the hell was wrong with this man? Bro was running out of songs to put in the skip section and decided he was going to be quirky today. My man Jay the Zoomster woke up with violence in his heart and said, "Start of Something New." You probably skip. You don't be skipping the Aiden Mile songs ever. Don't be skipping them. What's wrong with you? All right, number 7 is Bros and Hoes Volume 1. Yeah, okay. So now we're back on track. This is kind of what I expected. Bros and Hoes is great. It takes a mix of serious and joke approach from Halifax, but merges it in a better way and crafts a story throughout. I don't care what anyone says. The joke songs are canon to the serious song story. Reddit Gold is terrific, and Jay's song, amazing. One of the best ever made. Now, personally, if I was going to have like a listen to and skip section for Bros and Hoes, granted, it's only 8 tracks and like less than 25 minutes, so if you have to skip something, you know, like Jay's song would be the one I'd pick, personally, as the song to skip. The serious songs are great, and I love the story. Hours and Hours get stuck in my head at work. Banger. Take Some Time is fantastic. Banger. Don't Need Me is great. Another underrated one. Let's go. Closer, I Love to Say Goodbye, featuring Mizuno, is also a classic. Where was this energy earlier? Huh? I Love to Say Goodbye, Start of Something New. They're very similar songs. You gonna give I Love to Say Goodbye that a little bit more love? The hypocrisy here. Trapper of the Season and When the Imposter is Sus are the really only skips. I can't read. I'm so sorry. This spaghetti is messing with my vision and my gut and my brain. I can only think about Alfredo now. I'm sorry. All right, but we got 8 stars. Listen to Hours and Hours. No, do not listen to Jay's song. Don't listen to this recommendation. This is horseshit. Listen to Hours and Hours. Take some time. And if you're gonna put a third one on here, put I Love to Say Goodbye. That's the third one here. That's way more deserving of Jay's song. Skip Trapper of the Season. Skip Jay's song. And if you want to, When the Imposter is Sus, because it is just the Funny Among Us song. But yeah, interesting. Interesting that Volume 1 is lower than 2. Because Volume 2 doesn't really have a story to it. You know, it's just goofy and joke song. So it doesn't quite hit the same. But I've always considered of the two to be 1 is worse than 2. So I didn't think Jay would feel that way. I feel like he would have preferred the story in 1 over the better songs in 2. But it's interesting. He actually agrees with me. He'd think 2 is better than 1. All right. So we got Ballad Naboo off. Songs of Bros and Hoes off. Aid and Emergency has got to be next. Or Evergreen. One of these two. Because again, Analog World War II, EP are my 3 best, personally. And Bros and Hoes is like a solid 4th place. I wouldn't mind seeing Volume 2 up next, actually. But really, it's Aid and Emergency and Evergreen are the next weakest. So, I'm expecting to see one of those here. Okay, here we go. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Are you fucking kidding me? Hello? Over Aid and... Oh, my gosh. This man is going to put Aid and Emergency, a record I made in the year 2020, with songs about turning my friend into meatloaf, being an alien who sexually harasses other people, a supernatural dentist, a woman on ecstasy, the fucking Peanut, over EP of 1812? Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad. There's been some fuck ups here, some small fuck ups, granted, but some fuck ups nonetheless. EP is not 6. Oh, the reasoning better be good. Hold up. I love this album cover, by the way. It's probably the simplest album cover, but also the cleanest. So let me know. That's all I got. It's my fucking best song, and you're gonna put it at 6? Okay, I'll say more. This is basically a reversal of Molasses Flood. The first half is lacking in a lot of ways. What the hell happened here? None of them are bad? None of them are bad. Okay. But Knowin' are great? Bro can't even get his thoughts together. He knows they're wrong. Blackberry Lemonade in particular is an utter skip. True. Problems is the underrated track, bro. Me and Jay were on such a good length. He was picking out all the underrated bangers. And Problems is one of them. And he just misses it entirely. Minecraft Bitches ain't much better. That's true. That was like a one take. But oh my goodness, the second half is so goddamn good. Waiting is an amazing, serious song. Bitch You Ugly is hilarious. And Let Me Know is Aiden's best song, no cap. And I Don't Want to Live Forever is a great listen. It's probably the best closer I've ever made in terms of concept. Hello? So really, it's because Jay didn't like Problems is the issue here. Like Blackberry Lemonade, mid. Minecraft Bitches, mid. Yeah, absolutely. But like, these 4 are all-timers. Problems, low-key underrated. And what was the other one? Weren't there 8 tracks? What was the other track? Oh, that literally features Rainbow Flow. Him? He didn't even put his own track on here? That's funny. If the first half was better, this could easily be one of, if not Aiden's best albums. Better than Aiden Emergency, I'll tell you that much. What is wrong with you? As is, it's just pretty damn great because of the second half. Listen to Waiting, Let Me Know, Bitch You Ugly, correct. Skip Minecraft Bitches. Problems is not a skip. This is wrong again. Go listen to Problems again and then come back to me with a better opinion. And Blackberry Lemonade. Okay. So now for sure, Aiden Emergency, right? Or Evergreen. Gotta be one of those two. I'd even be fine with Bros and Hoes Volume 2, but really, we have put these two way too high, Mr. J the Zoomster. You cannot keep doing this. Let's see. Okay, Bros and Hoes Volume 2. You're back on my good side. You're back on my good side. I love this cover. Bros and Hoes Volume 2 is the most recent album on the list and is a fantastic follow-up to the first one. While it doesn't follow a consistent narrative, it does still feature total bops. Nokia is amazing opener. Brother of Mine is hilarious. Brother of Mine is a serious song. What the fuck? What do you mean hilarious? And while basically no one outside of the immediate friend circle will get, quote, the pitch, it's still iconic. Also true. I think a lot of this album is held back, though, by just not being as memorable as the ones I'll rank higher. Fair. While there are a ton of bangers out there, some of them I just couldn't recall until I listened again. Fuck Around and Find Out being one of them. That's like top 3 of this entire project. But whatever. And Better Times just sort of exist here. Facts. Did you know Super Mario Brothers 2? He couldn't even spell out the whole title. Well, that's fair, because it's actually really fucking long. I'll give you a pass on this one. I probably wouldn't write out the whole title on this. It would take up like another 3 lines. Is okay, but doesn't elicit any emotion for me. That being said, Road Rage, Eternal Love, and the great Listen to Your Heart cover at the end are all worth listening. Yeah, the second half, once you get to Fuck Around and Find Out, to me, there are no misses. The first half is just kind of like leaning you into the really great shit, but like the final 4 or 5 tracks are some of my personal favorites. But I'd probably put it at around 5 or 4, because yeah, Aid in Emergency would be lower. So this would probably be like top 4 for me. It's the most recent one, and it again isn't as narratively consistent. But still, though, if the songs are better, sometimes that's all that matters. Okay, listen to Eternal Love. I agree. Nokia. Listen to Your Heart. That's fine. I would have put Eternal Love, Road Rage, and then Fuck Around and Find Out as like the 3 you gotta listen to. Better Times is pretty good skip. Brother of Mine or The Pitch would be better skips than Did You Know? So that's personal preference there. 8.5. Okay. Jay the Zoomster. You cannot tell me with a straight face that Aid in Emergency and Evergreen are better than Analog Dreams and World War II. Please, for the love of God, come to your senses. Aid in Emergency especially. Like Evergreen, sure. If you really fuck with the concept of Evergreen, then fine. Put it in the top 3. But Aiden fucking, are you kidding me? Aid in Emergency's next. 100%. 100%. Let's see it. Number 4. My gosh. I'm free. I'm free, baby. The allegations are beat. Number 4, the Aid in Emergency. Whew. I was worried for a second. I almost thought Jay was going to put Aid in Emergency at number 1 for some godforsaken reason. Oh, let me drink some water. Let me drink some water. Whew. Okay, love this cover. You might be asking, Jay, why is one of the first few Aiden albums this high? That was me. I was asking that. Because it fucking slaps. Some of the songs slap. There's so many fantastic songs here. Jim the Alien is fine. Not a great opener. It's fine. Harry the Dentist is hilarious. Fair. Jason's Joyride is amazing. I fuck up several times in the delivery. And the serious closer, Trains Through Seattle, is so good. I agree there. I agree. It is a nice closer. One of my personal favorite closers. But those aren't where the album peak either. Unfrosted Groove, Eleanor on Ecstasy, and White Women Woes. Those 3 are so good. This album is just funny. It's a vibe, full of great songs and great ideas. And the entire project is one I listen to over and over. It's a little dated. A little dated, Mr. J the Zoomster. A little. I'd say a lot dated, but whatever. But this was my favorite for a long time for a reason. Look, like, Unfrosted Groove, fair. White Women Woes, it's fair. Like, you fuck with them. Trains Through Seattle, some of my 3 most iconic Aiden songs. And you know what? I'll even give you this. Like, of the first 7 records here, so Mexican through Vancouver, Aiden Emergency is probably the strongest. You know? I'll give you that. For sure. But over this half? No. It's like, once we get to like Halifax, and what I consider the modern Aiden album, so Halifax to Bros and Hoes, Aid and Emergency to me just does not hold a candle from a production standpoint, from a comedy standpoint. Again, he didn't even mention some of the more mid ones. Meatloaf Mayhem, Far Far Away Idol. Who be bumping Far Far Away Idol? Nutty Funeral, kind of mid. Jim the Alien, again, is a kind of a more sus song than the Carl Weezer one. IMO, but whatever. Shit like that, keeps me from putting it as like, oh, I don't know, top 4 all time. But I get like the bangers are good bangers. All right, listen to Eleanor and Ecstasy, Unfrosted Groove, and White Women Woes. I'd say those are the 3, probably. Skip Meatloaf Mayhem, Far Far Away Idol, and Nutty Funeral. Wow, I agree on all of these. Just a little too high. Just a little too high. Okay, so at this point, we have Analog Dreams, World War II, and Evergreen. Evergreen should be next. It should be next. But knowing Jay, he really does like Evergreen. He might put Evergreen too. He should not put Evergreen above World War II. He's out of his damn mind if he does that. I don't think he should put Evergreen above Analog Dreams either. But I know he probably prefers it. I don't know. Oh, I'm so scared. Please let it be Evergreen. Please let Evergreen be next. Oh, you bastard. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew you would put Evergreen way too high. Ooh. Ooh, I'm angry. Ooh, I'm angry. Grr. All right. Analog Dreams is a fantastic concept for an album. I love all the interlude tracks, I love the main narrative, and a ton of the songs are so good that I actively listen to them over and over again. My main reason for not liking it being my number 12? Being my number 12. What was 12? I'm sorry, this is confusing. Number 12. Oh, Mataram? Oh, the mix. The mix of serious to comedy shit. Is that what he means by that? Yeah, damn. EP 6 is baffling. Okay, let's see. Is the ratio of songs to interlude is a little too low for my liking? Yeah, I know it's 10 tracks, but that's a lot of interludes. And while they're all funny, then what's the problem? If they're all funny and they're all good, and quote, Analog Dreams is a fantastic. You want to know why it's a good concept? Let me show you. Let me show you why it's a good concept. A bam, bam, a bam, a bam, a bam, bam. You get rid of these interludes, there is no concept. There is no, quote, Analog Dreams. It is 10 random songs stitched together. Without the interludes, you don't get any of that. You know? You don't get any of that. And if all of them are funny, as you so say, then what's the problem with having more of a good thing? You know? My only thing with the interludes is I wish I had done one more personally. Because Mile does like 4, and I think I do like 2 or 3. I wish it would have been evenly split where I had done half and Mile had done half. Because I had fun making mine. They were really fun to do. And then the little commercials in there too. It's clean. If Jay had gotten Analog Dreams like he wanted, there would have been like one interlude right here, and then like one here, and then signing off. There would have been 3, essentially. Like one in the middle, one kind of toward the end, and then the final signing off bit. And that's not a good record. Personally. That's not a good record. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I know it's 10 tracks. Ooh, misspell. But that's a lot of interludes, and while they're all funny, it can bog down the track listing for me. Cringe. Still, bangers all around. Living with the Cringe is iconic. Trash on the Brain is so good. The Mizuno cover Slap and Carry On and Smile are so damn good. Agreed. Really no complaints here, except the opener is alright, and Trust isn't very good. Trust is the weakest one. I don't agree on Sleepy Time being just kind of mid, though. So, yikes. Alright, listen to Trash on the Brain, Living with the Cringe, Carry On, and Smile. 4 good choices. Skip Trust. Yeah. Working and Fighting in Hoodie Weather. You should have just kept it at Trust. That's the only real honest to God skip. These 2 are just like a preference thing. Because they're not in the same quality as Trust. So, it's interesting. Alright, number 2. Oh my fucking God. Oh, I hate this man so much. He really put fucking Evergreen number one. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. He put Evergreen number one. I gotta like let that sit with me for a while. Hold up. I'm gonna take another break. Okay, I'm back. I ran 3 marathons in a row because that's how angry I was that he put World War II not at number one, where it either should have been number one or Analog Dream should have been number one, but instead the mid-record Evergreen is going to be number one. So whatever, I'm not angry anymore. That's fine. That's fine. I've gotten out of the anger. A classic all around. Complicated is the birth of the Cum Goblins. I hadn't thought of it that way, but you're kind of right. Origins is hilarious. My Only Dad is genuinely fucking gut-bustingly funny. This is a phrase here. Genuinely fucking gut-bustingly funny. Try saying that like 5 times fast. Ode to the Bestie is so wholesome, real. Coochie Domain is another classic, and I'm a big fan of Being Surprise. The After Party cover has no reason to be as good as it is. Reeling the Haters is hilarious. And Confused, the underrated track, is a great banger too. There's not a single miss on here. Every single song is worth listening to, and it's a completely amazing listen front to back. Wow. I agree with all of this, and then you go say something that's just fucking wrong. What is wrong with you? Listen to Complicated, My Only Dad, Ode to the Bestie, Coochie, the whole record. Listen to the whole record. It's that good. I swear, like, honestly, World War II, one of them lightning in a bottle records that has me afraid to make World War III, because I know odds are it's not going to be as good, Going from World War I to 2, 1 I thought at the time was my best record and has since aged a little poorly. 2 comes out and does it even better. How am I going to do 3? I don't know. I'll do a 3 eventually, but it's going to be a while. Skip Origins, I guess. Yes, Origins is the weakest. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Also, he didn't talk about the I'm Still Here thing, and he said he was going to on Mexican Revolution. Mid-rider? Crazy. All right, number 1, Evergreen. Yay, Evergreen. This is wrong. Evergreen is Aiden's best album. Wrong. It's not even a competition for me. Technically correct, but it's because he says for me and not for everyone else, which is a key distinction. Every single track is good. Not correct. Moonlight is an amazing opener that sets the entire mood for the album, and did I mention there's a narrative. Technically, this is all factual. I love Moonlight, and there is, in fact, a narrative. It's so good. Everything flows so elegantly from one track to the next, and it leaves me wanting to re-listen to pick up on all the little tidbits Aiden slipped in. Technically, this is factual too. I did put tidbits and little things because I made Evergreen in pairs, essentially, to where I was working on 2 songs at the same time. So Moonlight in one shot, Too Fast and Second Chances, Misery and Evergreen, and then Limits and Moving On were 2 separate singles that I had made long before I thought about Evergreen being a thing. But for the most part, all of these tracks were by the same beat maker on YouTube, so that's why they kind of all flow into each other and feel very similarly. Too Fast is one of my favorites for sure, but I also love the title track, Evergreen. Something about Aiden picking beats that all work together and just crafting an entire serious album with the narrative works way better than I ever expected. I listen to this album all the time, and it doesn't even have a dull moment. A dull moment. Like these two? You're telling me there's no dull moment on One Shot or Second Chances? At all? I don't know. Listen to Moonlight, Evergreen, Moving On, and Misery. Those are probably the 4 best. I'd agree with that. Although, if Too Fast is one of your favorites, you really should have put that down here. Skip nothing. Skip Second Chances. If you don't care about the narrative. If you care about the narrative, listen to everything. If you just want like tracks, Second Chances is probably the most skippable. One Shot, maybe. And that's it. That's the list. That's the list. All jokes aside, thanks for making this, Jay. I was interested in your reasoning and how you would rank the records. And for the most part, we agree, especially on the bottom half. You know? Like Mexican to Gulf War, I would have put Mataram here, then Gang War. So just swap these two. World War One's good where it should be. Molasses Flood's good where it should be. Halifax, sure, but this is around where like Aid and Emergency I think goes, right around 9 or 8. Battle of Naboo, probably a little higher on mine. Bros and Hoes would be a little lower. This is still a top 3 for me. This is right where it should be. Maybe 5 or 4, depending. This is too high. This, like, I was fine with Analog Dreams not being your favorite, but it should at least be top 2. Just the magnitude of the record, the release of it, the concept for a man who cares a lot about narrative. It should be a little bit higher than the non-narrative record, IMO. But I would have been okay with this being 2. 3 is just slightly low. World War II, believe it or not, is fine if you have Analog Dreams as 1. If Analog Dreams is 1, then this can be 2. I think it's in my top 2 best as well, so it's hard to disagree here. Just Evergreen is like, oh man. To me, Evergreen is just a case of missed potential. Ideas are interesting. The time loop thing's kind of cool. But like, it's really hard for me to go back to listen to any of these on their own. And every time I listen back to it, there's just things I wish I would have... Like, I don't have any backing on any of these tracks, And that's something I do in every record. I don't even bother putting backing on it. And then some of them are a little too similar, IMO, and I wish it had been, like, a little bit longer. And the fascinating thing, too, is, like, I don't even think if you go to, like, our music spreadsheet, Jay don't even have Evergreen as a 9. That shit was, like, an 8 for him. I think the review said something to the extent of, like, there's nothing outstanding on here, which is true. Like, there's not, like, a real, like, this song speaks to me compared to, I don't know, this one and this one. But that's just my opinion. Thank you so much for writing all this. These are some very interesting opinions, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you want to read the article or listen to the comedy albums, links in the description below. Leave me a comment, and have a good one. Bye-bye.